Today's story is chapter 54. What is the best legacy to our children? Three scholars were leaving to pursue their studies abroad. An uneducated fellow wished to accompany them, so they took him along as porter. The foursome crossed mountains and forded rivers, coming eventually to a desert strewn with the bones of a wild beast. "Let's test our skill, shall we?" said the three. They gathered the bones and began to fit them back together, using all their ingenuity. "If the beast comes back to life, won't it devour you?" fretted the porter. "We don't know anything," the scholars barked at him. "Be quiet and watch." They proceeded to add flesh and hide to the assembled skeleton, until lo and behold, there stood a strapping lion. The uneducated porter had by now climbed a tree in terror. Holding his breath, he watched as the wise men breathed life into the lion. With flashing eye and bared fang, it devoured the tree and ran off. A world-famous professor at Harvard University was so busy with their work that he had no time to attend his own class. He recorded his lectures and instructed his students to gather once a week to listen to the tapes. One day he happened to pass by the door of his classroom and looked inside. On a desk in the center of the room, a tape recorder was whirring away, surrounded by desks bearing smaller tape recorders. When children come home from school, tiger moms pounce. "How did you do on the test? Hurry up now, your private tutor is waiting for you." Some parents misguidedly place so much emphasis on their children's intellectual development that they end up using up all their savings and even selling their home. Thrown, thrown into a living nightmare, they hold desperate family councils. Sometimes parents who chase after a college education for their children end up being eaten alive by a monster. Ungrateful children who are moral failures do not bring their parents' pride, but eat up their money and break their hearts. Moral education, education that cultivates the heart, is most important. Providing children with a material legacy is the low way. Providing them with an academic education is the medium way. Aim high by giving your children moral education. It is important not to lose sight of what constitutes true parental love. So today's chapter is about the most important is what is most important education. I know any parent can become too easy on their children. In a good sense, they become doting parents, but in other words, many of them spoil their children by giving just material abundance and happiness without giving them the moral education, teaching them the importance of doing good deeds or kindness to others, and the importance of keeping promises, like Buddha taught in the Six Paramitas. Of course, when children are too little, there's no need to teach discipline or strict guidance. But after they become teenagers, little by little, parents can teach them moral education and the importance of these having virtues. But of course, this is not easy. Parents themselves need to understand its importance. So true education cannot be accomplished in just one generation or two generations. One self-help teacher or spiritual teacher once said, if one wants to guide their children in the right direction, they have to start with the children's grandparents. So true education needs at least 3 generations. That's what I heard from Takamori Sensei, the author of the book. But anyway, it's not too late. We have to start from now and hope for the best in the future. Yeah, by going forward on our spiritual journey ourselves. This is, I think, we can learn from this chapter. Okay, good job, everyone.